Okay. So first we will discuss about if flow. Okay. Before discussing this one, we will discuss about indentation. Okay. So suppose we are using one if statement. Okay. So there is one condition written here. Okay. Here we are having some condition. Then we have to apply this colon. Okay. And if we want to write some code inside if flow, then we have to give some space here, white space here. Okay. And we have to code after this white space. Okay. So that means these print statements, okay, so these print statements are inside the if block. Okay. Now suppose we have to write something outside of this if, then we have to again remove this white space which we have provided, and we have to write from here. That means this print 4, this is outside of this if block, and this print 1, 2, and 3. These three print statements are inside this if block. Okay. So this is known as indentation in Python, right? So if we want to write something inside the blocks, we have to provide colon here. And after providing the colons, we have to give some white space. Okay. Basically, there are four spaces. Okay. Four spaces. So if we have to write this print one inside the if block, then we have to provide this white space here, okay, equivalent to four spaces generally, right? Now we will discuss one by one our flow statements. So first we will discuss about if, okay. Suppose we are having our flow like this one. So line by line we are writing. So in between some condition occur. So basing on the condition, we have to uh, write some line. Okay. So we can give here if statement, and we have to give one condition here. So there are no parentheses required here. I'm removing this parenthesis. So here we have to write one condition, then colon. After colon, we have to write our actions, okay, which we want to do basing on this condition, okay. So if this condition becomes true, then we have to provide some actions here, right? Now, uh, let me give you one example. So if number is greater than 5, if number is greater than 5, then we have to print the number. We have to print greatest, okay? We have to print the greatest string, okay? Now, how we can do is, first of all, we have to take this number from user, okay? So num is a variable. Inside this num, we want to take any number from user. So what we have to do, int input, enter the number. Okay, first of all, this input statement, this is used to take the input from keyboard. Okay, if we will press 5, then this number will come, but in the string format. Okay, then we have to typecast that. So for typecasting, we have to use this int here. Okay, and that integer 5 will be stored in num variable. Okay, now we can check if num is greater than 5, then colon. So this is our condition, right? If this condition is true, we have to print greatest. If this condition false, okay, this If this condition false, this statement, greatest statement, this will not get executed, and we will come out of this if block, and again we can do any print statement. Or okay, we can write normal print statement, right? So see here, we are executing some codes here. We are having one num variable. So we are checking if num variable is greater than 5, we have to print this greatest. Otherwise, we will go with the normal execution. Okay. So now I will show you how this will get executed. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to take one number inside num variable. So int input. Inside the input function, I'm going to write one message, enter any number. Now, if num is greater than 5, then colon, then after colon, if I will press enter, automatically it will come inside this if block, right? So here we can write print greatest. Now see, now I'm not inside the this if block. Okay, so here I'm going to write print normal execution. So this statement will be printed only if the number is greater than 5. Okay, let me save this file, clicking on the run button, run module, enter any number. I have given 4. Yeah, normal execution. That means it is not going inside the if block. Yeah, it is not going inside the if block here. Okay, that means this greatest will not be printed. Okay, normal execution. Okay, now if this greatest will not be printed, then it will come out of this if block and it will print normal execution. Now consider the second scenario. If I will take any number which is greater than 5, okay, this condition becomes true and it will print greatest, and then it will come out of this if block and it will print normal execution. Now let me run this again. Enter any number. I have taken 10 now. Yeah, now it has printed greatest and normal execution. Okay, so inside this program, okay, only one condition occurs. If that condition is passing, that means it will go inside this if block. Otherwise, it will not go inside this if block and the program will be normally executed. Okay, now we will take one second scenario with if else statement. Okay, now see, this is our program flow. Line by line, we are executing this. Okay, then inside we are uh, we are having one condition. If condition, if this condition becomes true, it will come inside the if block, and we will just print or we will do some action. Okay, If on failure of this condition, we want to provide some action, we can provide in the else statement. Okay, else, then colon, then again action 2. Okay, now after this else flow, this is our normal execution of program. Okay, let me give you one example. So suppose I'm having one number which is inside this num variable, int input, enter any number. Okay, now if number is greater than 5, we can print greatest. Now suppose if this condition fails, okay, and we want to do any action basing on the failure of this condition, then we can provide else statement, else colon print something called as not greatest. Okay, after this print normal execution. See what is happening here. We are taking one number from keyboard, converting that number into integer, okay, then storing inside num variable. Now we are checking if this num variable, okay, if this is greater than 5, we will print greatest. If this condition fails, that means number is less than 5, we will print not greatest. Okay, else print, okay, not greatest. I'm saving this, clicking on the run button, run module, enter any number. I have taken 5. Yeah, not greatest, because this num variable which contains 5, this is not greater than 5, right? That means this condition fails and it will come inside the else part. Okay, and what is written inside the else part? Not greatest, and it is printing not greatest here. Then after executing the else part, it will come out of this else and it will print normal execution. Okay, now we are having one condition here, which is num greater than 5. Okay, now suppose we are having multiple conditions. Okay, then what we can use is, we can use if, elif, else. Okay, now what's that? If condition 1, if this condition is true, that means it will come inside this if flow. Okay, and we can do some actions. So action 1. If this condition fails, we are having some other condition, then we can put elif condition 2. Okay, if this condition is true, that means it will come inside this elif flow and it will do some actions. So action 2. Again, suppose this condition also fails, then again, if there is some other condition, we will put another elif flow and condition 3. If this condition becomes true, we have to give some action 3. Okay, like this, we can check for multiple conditions. Okay, then we can provide else. If all the condition fails, then we will come inside the else flow. Okay, and we can give default action here. Okay, now I will give you one example. Suppose I'm asking math marks. Okay, so int input enter marks, right? Now we can enter marks like 70, 75, 80, something like that, right? So firstly, that marks will come as a string. We have to convert that into int using this int function. Okay. After converting into int function, that will be stored inside this math marks variable. Okay. Now we have to check if marks are greater than 80. Okay. Greater than 80 and less than equals to 100. Then we can print grade A. If it is greater than 60 and less than equals to 80, then we can print grade B. If greater than 40 and less than equals to 60, then we can print grade C. Okay. And if less than 40, then we can print marks less than 40. We can print grade D. Okay. So here we can give greater than equals to 40, less than equals to 60. Now we have our requirement is like this one. If suppose 80 marks are there, so marks less than equals to 80, this condition will be true and it will print grade B. Suppose marks are 49. Okay, 49. So this condition is true here. Now grade C will be printed. Now 40. For 40 also, this statement is true. Grade C will be printed. Okay. Now for 30, this fourth condition is true and grade D will be printed. Okay. So this is our requirement. Now we got our marks into this variable math marks, right? Now we can check if math marks is greater than 80. Okay, greater than 80 and math marks less than equals to 100. Okay, we will give colon here. Inside this if loop we will come and we will print grade A. If this condition fails, now we have to give elif and we have to check math marks greater than 60 and math marks less than equals to 80. Then we have to print grade B. Okay. Again, we have to give one more condition, elif math marks greater than equals to 40 and math marks less than equals to 60. Okay, then we can print grade C. Okay, if all the condition fails, then we can provide one else flow. Okay, by default, if marks is less than 40, it will come inside the else block and it will print grade D. Okay, now we are going to check this using our program. Okay, we are going to take math marks. So in input, we are going to give message enter math marks if math marks greater than 80 and math marks less than equals to 100. Then it will print grade A alif math marks greater than 60 and math marks less than equals to 80. Then it will print grade B alif math marks greater than equals to 40 and math marks less than equals to 60. It will print grade C. If all the conditions fail, it will come inside the else part and it will print grade D. Okay, I'm saving this, clicking on the run button, run module. Yeah, it is asking for math marks. Now math marks 50. I have given. Yeah. Here I have taken capital M. So this is small m here. Everywhere it is good. Okay. I'm running this again. Yeah, grade C. Why grade C? Because we got 50 marks and 50 marks lies in this 40 to 60 in this range. Okay, this condition becomes true and it will print grade C. Okay, again, I will run this, enter math marks 90. Yeah, grade A. Why grade A? Because the first condition becomes true, and if first condition becomes true, it will come inside this if flow and it will print grade A. Okay. So any question till this point? Anyone?
I'm good.
Yeah, thanks, Bhavna. How about you, Aditya, Denju?
Yes, Vivek, we can proceed.
Thanks, Aditya. Denju? Okay, thank you. So basing on this if-else conditions, okay, we can do these kinds of questions. Okay, so our question is, we have to find Which one is smallest, A or B? Okay, smallest of two numbers. Okay, smallest of two numbers. Okay. Now suppose I'm having two numbers A and B. Okay. So A we can take as int input, enter first number. B similarly we can take like int input, enter second number. Now I'm having both the numbers inside A and B. Okay. Now I need to check if A is less than B. If A is less than means if this condition becomes true, that means we can print A here. Okay. If this condition fails, that means B is smaller, right? So we can print B. Now we can check this. Okay, so like this, we can take two numbers A and B. Now we can check if A is smaller than B. We can print A. Okay, and comma we can give is smaller. Now suppose this condition fails. Okay, we can come inside the else part and we can print B is smaller. Okay, I'm saving this, clicking on the run button, run module, enter first number. I'm taking 15. Enter second number, 25. Yeah, 15 is smaller, right? Again, I'm running this. Oh, sorry, not this one. Okay, enter first number. I'm taking 25, second number 15. Yeah, again, 15 is smaller, right? So like this, we can make these kinds of logics like uh, smaller of two numbers, smaller of three numbers, greater of two numbers, and greater of three numbers, right? So we discussed this question using ternary operator also, right? Now we are doing this with the help of if else blocks, right? We can also see questions like check whether the number is even or odd. Okay. So suppose I'm taking any number 13. Okay. If we will divide this number by 2, okay, we will get remainder as 1. Okay. So if I'm taking number as 14, if we will divide 14 by 2, the remainder we will get 0, right? So instead of divide, if we will get remainder directly using this modulo operator, okay? This operator is used to give remainder, okay? Now 30 modulo operator 2, it will give remainder 1. 14 modulo 2, we will get remainder 0, right? And we can check the remainders. If remainder is 1, the number is odd. If the remainder is 0, the number is even. Okay. So we can take one number in input, enter any number. Okay. Now if num modulo 2, okay, this will give a remainder. Okay. Now if this num modulo 2, this is equals to 0. Okay. That means this number is even. So we can print even number. If this condition fails, that means remainder is 1. So we will print as odd number. Okay, now we will check this. We are going to take one num variable, and inside this num variable, we are going to take one number int any number if num modulo 2. If this equals to 0, we can print even number. Inside the else part, we can print odd number. I'm saving this, clicking on the run button, run module. Okay, enter any number. I'm taking 17. Yeah, it is a odd number. Again, I'm running this. Okay, I'm taking 22 now. Yeah, this is a even number. Okay, so like this, you can make different programs basing on this if else conditions. Okay, so any questions, any doubts till this point?
I'm good, Vivek.
I'm good.
Okay, now you can make a smallest of 3 numbers. Okay, and greatest of 3 numbers. Okay, now, yeah, these two things you can just try yourself. If you will get any confusion, okay, you can send me any message. You can just call me anytime. Okay. Okay, so that's it in today's session. Tomorrow we will try to discuss iterative statements. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Vivek.
Thanks, guys.